the signs ready. Nick Sirianni making no quick friends as the Eagles season ends on 6 of 7 in the loss column. And this one, the second largest playoff loss in franchise history. 32-9, Tampa Bay taking care of business here at home against an Eagles team that was sitting at 10-1, your 1 seed. Looking to go back to the Super Bowl and atone for past sins. Instead, it comes to a close in the wild card round. The Buccaneers get their largest playoff win in quite some time, 23 points here between them. Eagles season ends on the road.
Antoine, congratulations on the win. What are you most pleased with and how you guys had such a dominant performance?
Yeah, the goal was to come out here, play complimentary football, and start fast, and I feel like we did that today. Offense did a great job, and defense, we did a hell of a job as well.
This defense has been on a roll the last 7 games. How much confidence are you guys playing with right now?
We know we're just taking it 1 week at a time. Our goal is next week, whoever we got, we're just going to come in here confident and, have a great game.
What was the difference in this game defensively in keeping what is a talented group in check?
Yeah, just really preparation and then knowing that it's win or go home at this point. So we really locked in on the details and fundamentals.
What'd you like about Baker's performance?
Oh, Baker ball, man. As long as he keeps scoring. Best in the league. Baker keep doing what he do. It's going to be a fun season.
Your thoughts on going up to Detroit to try and slow down that offense?
On a revenge tour. These teams that's ahead of us, they all beat us in the regular season, so we're going to have a great time up there.
Enjoy it. Congrats.
Appreciate it.
I mean, the vibes are high right now in Tampa, and you could see why. 6-1 in the months of December and January. That's when rubber meets road, and they have hit the ground running. They become the 5th team all-time to win a playoff game after starting a season 4-7. Baker Mayfield joining Tom Brady as the only Bucs quarterbacks to surpass 300 yards passing in a playoff game. Part of our award-winning team at the NFL on CBS, Evan Washburn, standing by on the tail end of a commanding Buccaneers victory. Evan, it was something to behold through the screen, but I'm sure field side, you could take in some stuff that we were not privy to. Seemed like in that game there were moments where the Eagles found their footing in a way they hadn't over the last 6 weeks, and then it all goes awry once again. What did you observe in those decisive moments of this game?
It was just a contrast in a sense of urgency from both sides. And you're right, there were moments where the Eagles did show life. I thought Devontae Smith had a Herculean effort in this game. But every time they would try to have a punch, the Bucs would come with a wave of a counter punch. And it really started with that defense. You could hear it in Antoine Winfield Jr.'s voice. This is a group playing with a ton of confidence that completely neutralized, I know, an offense that's been anemic the last 7 games, but look, it's still Jalen Hurts. It's still that offensive line, and they just terrorized that group from start to finish. This felt like a complete effort from a team that is playing with a level of execution, detail, and urgency on both sides of the ball that makes them very dangerous in the postseason. I'm
glad that's where you take us, because this is an Eagles failure that casts a very long shadow, but let's not let it overshadow what Baker Mayfield did in this moment. 337, 3 touchdowns, the guy that was cast away by a number of franchises. As we tell the story of Baker Mayfield in real time, what did this night say to you?
It says that he has grabbed control of this position with this organization. You and I talked about it pregame, and look, good Baker is really good. Bad Baker, I think, is rooted more in his health. He was healthy in this game. He was given time for the most part. And what impressed me most, guys, was that he made plays to role players, if you will. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, outside of down the stretch, really closing this game out, they were not a real impact in this game. It was Otten, it was Palmer, it was guys that you don't think of when you think of this Bucs offense, but Baker threw to the open guy. He put him in stride. He put him in great opportunities for catch and run. He just had command of this offense, and he rides the wave of confidence better than any quarterback in this league.
I mean, somebody that deserved this moment, Baker Mayfield, comes to mind. We saw a moment such as this one not long ago, some hours ago, with Jared Goff as well. Celebration is in order, but there's not going to be any celebrating in the city of Philadelphia for quite some time. 6 of 7 in the loss column to end this season. One that started with great promise, 10-1, a 1 seed, looking to get back to the Super Bowl, take care of unfinished business. hard to put into words this level of historic collapse that we've just witnessed. How do you do so?
Well, you can look at it two ways. You can look at it emotionally, or you can try and look at it pragmatically. And emotionally, yes, it's an epic collapse that will have that fan base in a fever pitch, that media core that can be relentless, really searching for answers in a way that can be exhausting if you're a player or coach with that organization. But if you look at it pragmatically, really on the defensive side of the ball is where this all fell apart down the last month and a half. The personnel wasn't there. The injuries piled up. And that was the issue. They couldn't tackle. We saw that. You laid that out in the highlight. There were breakdowns in the back end. They weren't able to take advantage of what is still a talented front. To me, it was the defensive side of the ball that fell apart down the stretch. And again, that's the example of what you need this time of year. And you saw it with Tampa. You have to have complementary football, and you really do have to have your defense playing well.
He is the sharpest man in sports. Our Evan Washburn stopping by. Evan, we appreciate the time and insight as always.
You got it.
All right, you're only as good as your next one, and the next one for the Eagles will come next season. Largest playoff losses in franchise history. Just one shy of the all-time record. That's 92. Almost ironically, that came against the Cowboys team that wishes it was 1992. They got their own issues as well. Those two teams from that division both lying flat in the wild card round. More coming on HQ. We'll get you set for the divisional round. Tampa Bay set to take a trip to Detroit. The Mac Man in with his early leans.